Hello and thank you for watching. My name is Heather Alexandra, and today we're going to talk about death and dying. But first, a quick disclaimer. I was a Kickstarter backer on the game that we're about to talk about today, Dujanah. It's a really good game, and I've been meaning to talk about smaller titles for our critical videos, so this felt like a really good fit. But you should know that I did toss a little bit of money to make sure that it was made. Besides that, let's get to the analysis. Dujanah is a game by Jack King Spooner, creator of Beeswing, and it follows a mother, Dujanah, as she searches for her lost husband and daughter. The game takes place in a magical realist world, set in a fictional Muslim country that's equal parts beautiful and anxious. Through its gameplay and dialogue, Dujanah shows that death, while terrifying, is something that we all need to accept, peacefully or not. Death is on the game's mind right from the start. Dujanah explores the differences between how children and adults view death in its opening scene. Dujanah's daughter, Ashna, casually asks her father if he would find another mother if Dujanah died. Canned sitcom laughter tracks paint the moment as one of childhood innocence, but when Ashna and her father leave to bury her deceased hamster, a scene of impending military violence highlights the sudden, casual way that they could be killed at any moment. The threat of sudden death is something real in these people's lives. In her search to find her family after they go missing, Dujanah seeks out various characters who might have information about their whereabouts. The conversations that she has with these characters focus on ideas of violence, anger, and death. The general of the militarized zone dismisses Dujanah's concern that her family was killed in a drone strike by calling such a thing, if it happened, a whoopsie, and ignoring the power that he has over the civilian population. The technocrat M.K. Hodgkins offers his workers a form of immortality in robot bodies, and he keeps himself on the edge of death using sophisticated machinery. In conversation, he ponders the nature of the beyond and the process of dying, but he can't bring himself to actually accept that he too, like anyone else, must die. Incidental characters in Dujanah also struggle with understanding the complexities of life. Life is messy, and they don't really know what to do with it. A school teacher attempts to reconcile her love for her husband with the love she has for her neighbor, and concludes that she can live two different lives at once and love them both. A spider person tells the story of how their friend spent a month imagining their loved ones as skeletons, which helped him live in the moment and learn how to cherish the people he loved. Games and gameplay itself are also a vector for exploring death in Dujanah. Part of the mother's quest involves fetching 3 arcade tokens for the leader of a conclave of spiders. The arcade in this game is really neat. It's full of games, each seemingly teaching a different lesson about death. Cities of the Doom is a variation of Space Invaders that focuses on the inevitability of death. No matter how hard you try to fight, eventually the enemies are going to overwhelm you and create a game over. The cutesy adventure game Pupek Loves It All is about exploring the world and telling everybody that you appreciate them. Pie or Anus, and yes, it's really called Pie or Anus, allows players to waste their times with a frivolous guessing game, but if you explore the game beyond this task, you can venture into a white void and perish. The most interesting game in the arcade is The Caves of Al-Dajjal. It's a robust Metroidvania with items to find and bosses to defeat. The caves are full of really difficult platforming segments, and there are hazards that can kill you in one hit. It's easy to get lost, and it can take dozens of minutes to progress through a room. The game claims that the exit is locked, and that there's no escaping the caves. I don't really know for sure because I kind of gave up. I got so lost that even after defeating 3 bosses in really hard boss fights and exploring the world for almost an hour, I quit. But even that's a lesson about death. Maybe there really was no way to win the caves of Al-Dajjal, other than for me to accept defeat, to let go of the egotistical search for victory, and to understand the difference between giving up and moving on. Dujanah is about many things. It's the story of a mother's love, it's a story of subverting heroic deeds, it's an offbeat tale about how the world is both terrible and full of wonders. There's music to love, films to see, there's monsters to fight, there's a little bit of everything. But more than anything else, it deals with death, and how to deal with our inevitable demise. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm super afraid of dying. It really scares me to think about for more than 2 seconds, but thanks to Dujanah, I'm reminded that life is still full of interesting people to meet and places to see.